If you're lifting your Silverado or Sierra, do it correctly the first time. Don't let a ball joint snap on you. Do your upper control arms with the lift. I've got two examples here to kind of show you that this is a reality. This really does happen. Even with just a 2-inch lift, this could happen. Now let's go into what I'm doing on my truck. On a previous video, I pitched the idea that I wanted to go with either Fox or Bilsteins. And let me tell you, if you're familiar with the channel, you know that I like to just test all kinds of stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm starting with the Bilsteins. And I think this is going to be the most basic kit out there. This is going to be the most commonly used one. And let me first start off with the control arms that I went with. The control arm of choice for this one is the Rough Country. Now, these are called a forged upper control arm, but these are simply just a cast aluminum, similar to factory. These are a little bit beefier than factory, and they have a ball joint in there. And now there are a lot of other manufacturers out there that make upper control arms, and I think they all appear to be fantastic. This is the lowest cost, and this is going to get the job done. So keeping costs down, this is the way that we went with. And it is a ball joint style instead of a uniball. And it is my understanding that I don't want uniball because I'm in Utah and I have weather. So we have salt on the roads and we have just nastiness through there, and it's not good for the uniballs. If I'm mistaken on that, go ahead and comment down below and fill me in on that. And just to note, those factory ones that are broken did not come from my truck. They're from other people's trucks that did actually do the 2-inch or 3-inch lift. And it wears out those ball joints really quick. And when it goes, you know, because you're really shoved into the fender well. So let's get into the shocks that I went with. Bilstein right here. This is the front. Has a just adjustable clip right there. Now the bottom one, you know what, let's back up a little bit, all right? There's two versions of these shocks out there. And if I did my numbers correctly, this is the Trail Boss shock. So this one is a direct replacement for the Trail Boss, which already has, what is it, 1.5 to 2 inches above a regular truck. So if you're on the bottom clip right there, that's going to be the factory setting on a Trail Boss per the instructions. Additional 0.5, I think it's 0.55 inches right there if you go with the middle one, and 1.1 inches if you go up to the top. Now I don't want to go to the top, I'm not looking for extreme. I just kind of wanted the Trail Boss look, but then since I have the diesel, it may actually play it a little bit different. So we just went with the extra 1/2 inch right there. So let me get you the part number. I really hope that shows up. But you know what I can do is I'll grab the box. So that is the front. You need 2 of those. All right, let's do the rears. All right, here's the part number on the rear. And again, these are the Trail Boss shocks also. There's 2 versions of these available, and the Trail Boss has a 2-inch block in the rear. So which block are we going to go with? Because I actually have a 1.5-inch block and a 2-inch block. So here's the 1.5-inch block. Nice aluminum one that I had. And then this is actually a Trail Boss block. So this is 2 inches right here. So what I'm going to do is, you know what? Let me mention also the U-bolts. I have 4 total. These are Trail Boss U-bolts because they're longer than the factory ones, and these are one-time use. So I'm reusing the nuts. So hopefully those aren't one-time use, but that's all I can get right now. It's just these. So we're going to do that, and if they're not one-time use, I'm going to swap them out and we'll just put new ones in later, but they're just not available for me right now. So we're using what we've got. So I'm going to start with the 2-inch block on the rear with those Bilstein shocks. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I don't know what my front end is going to end up at with this at its clip location. So I think this is going to be wherever this lands is what I want. And if it looks good with the 2-inch block, then I'll leave it. If it seems like the rear needs to come down a little bit, then that's where we're going to go with the 1.5-inch block. And I think I'll be pretty happy with either one of those setups. But all the links are down below on everything I went with. As far as the Fox shocks go, yes, I'm actually hoping to do that later on. I'd like to run this for at least 6 to 12 months, and then I can get a full assessment on how it feels. And then I'll move on to the Fox shocks, or maybe we'll move on to something different, but I want to move up to the next level later on, and then we'll compare the Bilsteins to the factory in the next video, and then we'll compare the Bilsteins to the Fox or whatever I go with at that time. And then we'll have all the information that we need for those. But there's so many kits available out there. Do your research, get what you want, but this is the lowest cost of entry right here for this if you've got a non-Trail Boss truck and you're just adding on Trail Boss stuff. And let me note that the Trail Boss actually has longer front axles as well. I did not pick those up yet, and I do think I should put those axles in, but we're not going to. We're keeping this budget friendly right now, and this is all we're gonna do. And then until next time, see ya.